So next topic is properties of ionic bonds. Already we seen ionic bond means oppositely charged ions are held together by a strong electrostatic force of attraction, and let's see the properties of ionic bond. First one is physical state. The short form I am writing in physical state means they are exhibit as crystalline solids. So most of the ionic compounds or ionic bonds are crystalline solids. Why these bonds are crystalline solids means, so already we seen this strong electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anion, that is positive and negative, are held together. If they are due to oppositely charged ions in the bond, they are strongly held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. If they are held together tightly or strongly means they are arranged in uniformly. So crystalline solids means they are arranged in uniform method. So atoms are arranged in uniformly. So that's why most of the ionic compounds, ionic bond or ionic compounds are crystalline solids. Why they are crystalline solids? These cations or anions are held together or tightly held together. Due to this, the atoms are arranged in uniformly. So that's why they are exhibit as crystalline solid. Second one, second I will say conductivity. Conductivity important. They are act as insulator in solid state, conductor in molten state. So insulator means do not conduct heat or current. Do not conduct or allow heat or current pass through. Do not allow heat or current pass through, or do not conduct heat or current. Do not allow heat or current means insulator. If it is allow heat or current means conductor. So in ionic compounds or ionic bonds, they are insulator in solid state. Means reason is same reason. Why they are insulator in solid state means due to this, the strong electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anion. So they are tightly held together. Due to this, atoms are arranged in uniformly, or uniformly the atoms are arranged. If the atoms are tightly or uniformly arranged, there is no possibility to move. So there is no free movement of ions because they are held tightly together due to oppositely charged or due to force of attraction. So there is no free movement of ions. Reason is this reason. Strong electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anions are held together. So in this case, already they are arranged in, the atoms are uniformly arranged. So there is no possibility for atoms are free to move. Hence they are insulator in solid state. In the same solid, when dissolved in water, it acts as conductor, because when you take NaCl, when you add NaCl in water, so this considers water. When you add NaCl into the water, after some times this NaCl start dissociate. That means Na becomes positive, Cl becomes negative. So due to the splitting of these ions, the ions are free to move, hence they conduct electricity, because ions are freely moved when dissolved in water. That's why in molten state it acts as conductor. So always remember, ionic bonds are insulator in solid state and conductor in molten state. Why it is insulator in solid state? Because there is no free movement of ion. In case when dissolved in water, the ions are freely moved, hence they conduct electricity. Third one is melting point boiling point. So definitely there must be a high melting and boiling point. High melting and boiling point. Why it has high melting and boiling point? Reason. Same. If the ions are tightly held together, means suppose NaCl. If these ions are these bonds are formed due to ionic bonds are formed due to ions of oppositely charged. Hence, force of attraction is more between Na and Cl. So when we want to break the bond, we have to supply more amount of energy because they are held tightly together. Once we have to separate, means we have to supply more energy to break the molecules. Hence, we need high energy to break the molecules. Means definitely it has high melting and boiling point. So ionic bonds have high melting and boiling point. Next one is solubility. Solubility, they are polar solvents. Ionic bonds are soluble in polar solvent. Soluble in polar solvent, that is water. Insoluble in non-polar solvent. Insoluble in non-polar solvent. Non-polar solvent CS2, ether, etc. Benzene. These are a non-polar solvent. Benzene. So last one is reaction. So ionic bond or compounds undergo fast, that is rapid and instantaneous, that means fast. Instantaneous reaction, that is the reaction means ionic reaction, because they are ionic, so it undergo ionic reaction at very fast, so it undergo rapid and instantaneous reaction. So that's all about properties of ionic bond. This one they will ask in 5 mark question. So mention the characteristics of ionic bond or mention the properties of ionic bond, means you write this physical state and write crystalline solid and conductivity. You don't need to write these points and all. You just mention physical state, crystalline solids arranged in uniform, and you don't need, if you want, you will write, time permits, you write this, otherwise you mention only crystalline solids. And conductivity, put the heading conductivity and write insulator in solid state, conductor in molten state. Next one, melting and boiling point, high you write, that's enough, because melting point is high for ionic, melting and boiling point is high for ionic compound. Next heading you have to write solubility and mention soluble in polar solvent, insoluble in non-polar solvent, such as, if time permits, if you want, you write this example, non-polar solvents, otherwise no problem. Last one, reaction, it is rapid and instantaneous reaction, that's enough. So it is an important 5 mark question. So next we will see covalent bond.